All right, guys. So welcome to the final presentations of the Global Chia Hackathon, organized by Sirius Labs. Just wanted to say congratulations to you guys for making the final presentations, and also wanted to thank all the judges who are attending today. Just to note that some of the judges are not able to make this session, so we will be recording it for their viewing later. Overall, we've been really pleased with the results of the hackathon and are incredibly excited to see what kind of cool projects our hackathon teams are building. Yeah, on behalf of Sirius Labs, just wanted to give a thanks to all our partners and VCs for supporting us on this hackathon. In particular, I wanted to highlight Chia for providing technical support. We couldn't have done this hackathon without all our partners and their support, so really appreciate that. Like I said previously, we're really happy with the results of the hackathon. We received over 340 registrations from 50 plus countries, and we've narrowed down those registrations to top 35 finalists from 5 broad categories. So we have NFTs, DeFi, GameFi, wallets, and tools. I'm sure you guys already know, $400,000 prize pool split into 4 tiers. So the winners will be splitting this, a grand prize of $100,000, and then we have a first tier prize, second tier, and a third tier prize. Special thanks to all our judges, for lending their valuable time and expertise and participating in this hackathon. In no particular order, Derek Anderson from Akash Network, Felix Zhao from H-Pool, Michael Gord from GDA Capital, Wen Yongfeng from Waterdrip Capital, Yuan Fan from Amplio Capital, Sean Shu from Space Pool, Jay Jie from Certic, Zach Page from Certic, Anwar Al-Ruwaili from Columbia University, and Ethan Yu from AC Capital. Yeah, just to reiterate again, all the projects will be judged on these 4 broad categories of feasibility, adoption and market, Chia list based, and creativity for a maximum total score of 50. Okay, that about wraps up my intro. So I can pass things on to you. I'll stop screen sharing and then you guys can screen share and then take things from there.
So my name is Scott Fallick. I'm the CEO of Digital Farming Initiative, DFI, and I'm here today to talk about our premier projects, Arbor Wallet and Arbor Place, and how DFI is growing the Chia community towards a green and decentralized future. Now, the DFI team has the expertise and talent to completely disrupt the industry. Myself as Chief Executive Officer, and the Chief Technical Officer, Brandon Hagstrom, Chief Operating Officer Kevin Kapp, and Director of Mobile Solutions Alex Goryak make a great team that work together seamlessly to bring outstanding experiences to users. Who exactly is Digital Farming Initiative? We are a group with over 20 years combined experience in the blockchain cryptocurrency industry. We have proven solutions on the Chia platform with an Arbor Wallet and NFT minting success. And we offer a competitive advantage due to our close relationship with Chia network developers and our great incentive plan for artists to adopt our platform. Our integrated wallet and market value proposition is very clear. We are simple, secure, integrated, and scalable to meet the needs of users. Our goal is to onboard everybody with solutions that are utility rich and visually appealing. Now, this right here is I'm sorry. Okay. This is the functionality of how our Arbor Wallet works. It shows the basic flow of how users can create wallets, receive and send funds, check balances, and anything else you would expect from a standard cryptocurrency wallet. The functionality of our Arbor Place includes the different steps it takes to actually create NFTs on the Chia blockchain, as well as transacting with them. Now, we're actually really proud to be the first development team in the industry to showcase this innovation and know that we can bring fantastic results to the Chia ecosystem through this. Arbor Wallet has been an extreme success so far in our closed beta. Nearly all the bugs have been rectified, and we're currently just polishing up our UI and currently testing for vulnerabilities to be ready for full deployment of our version 1. We are actually working on version 1.2 right now, so we're already past our version 1. We offer all the same basic functions that you would expect from any cryptocurrency wallet, including a handy QR code, of course, with our logo to receive funds. As we integrate our Arbor Place, users will be able to interact, transact, and view NFTs directly within the Arbor wallet as well. Arbor Wallet is also live as a Discord bot, and we always encourage anybody who wants to check out the basic functionality to head over to our server. This bot's main purpose is to show real-world use cases where other companies can actually use our wallet API to allow developers to build upon our success and help grow the entire Chia community. Arbor Place has completed the first artistic NFT minting on the Chia blockchain. As of right now, there's no public way to view the information because there is no current viewer or browser available. However, DFI is currently building that functionality to integrate into our wallet. And as we set the standard and finalize development of our NFT viewing, we will release an API that will allow other companies to integrate NFT viewing into their products as well. The market opportunity for DFI is amazing. We plan to primarily go after existing crypto users, specifically Chia holders and NFT aficionados, as well as enterprise customers, which are mainly looking for more eco-friendly solutions. Now, some numbers here. NFT sales volume has blown up this year, as we've seen over $2 billion in sales generated for the first half of 2021 alone. With this trend continuing, NFTs could easily be a $1 trillion market within a few years. Now, here we're comparing NFT markets. We're actually looking primarily at the top 3 in the industry, which would be OpenSea, Axie Infinity, and CryptoBox. These 3 entities alone account for $3 billion over a 30-day period of NFT market trading. DFI is positioning itself to be a big disruptor in the industry and take a significant portion of that market share. Our projected revenue is on the conservative side, as we want to ensure that DFI does everything correctly to build a trustful brand and introduce products that are meaningful and help grow the Chia community. However, DFI is revenue driven and plans to be profitable in year 1 while growing exponentially over the next 4 years. We have established partnership with famous artist Wang Chen, who is the art director and co-founder of Carbon Games. They're currently making an action strategy game called Air Mech and have already released indie success Fat Princess. She's very excited to make her avatar collection on our eco-friendly blockchain and to be one of our premier artists. Arbor Place will offer various incentives to help drive adoption for our industry. Billions of dollars of NFTs are waiting to sell on environmentally unfriendly systems, and lots of artists have sunk significant money to mint unsold art on these power-hungry blockchains. DFI is going to come in and offer $100,000 in minting credits to entice artists to move their NFTs over to Arbor Place and the Chia blockchain. DFI is also committed to educating influencers about the Chia blockchain and the benefits of Chia Lisp, as well as actively seek and sign on new popular artists to drop their NFT artworks on our Arbor Place. Arbor Wallet has already completed a number of milestones, and we are on track to have our completed consumer-ready wallet by December 31st of this year. Our open source SPV wallet for Chia will include advanced wallet features not found in any other cryptocurrencies, such as easy multi-authenticated wallets, time-locked wallets, and other innovative products that can only be achieved with Chia's unique puzzle system. Arbor Place is more in depth. However, we are working in tandem with Arbor Wallet to ensure we achieve these milestones on time with appropriate utility and user experience. By mid-February, we will have the completed NFT ecosystem with full features, advanced functionality, and a robust marketplace ready for people to transact NFTs. Realistically, Chia is the best blockchain platform for NFTs because compared to the current players in the industry, it is more environmentally friendly, has lower transaction fees, and the NFTs themselves are highly customizable, allowing people to interact and set conditions not seen before on any other blockchains. DFI would be a great partner as we validate our research using real-world results from products such as Arbor Wallet, and we have strategic support with a history of working close with Chia core developers. So we ask everyone to join us here at DFI, where we are growing the Chia community towards a green and decentralized future. Now, since the last presentation, we have made significant strides. So I'd like to kind of show you a little bit about some of the other stuff we have. Just some basic things there. If you give me one moment, I'll pull that up. Here we just have a few screenshots of our latest iterations of Arbor Wallet. We're actually just getting ready to deploy the consumer wallet fairly soon, probably within the next few days. These are just some of the most recent renderings of our wallet here. And then the other thing that I wanted to show you guys would actually be our minting script. Okay, so just to give a little bit of a background on that video there, that was actually us minting NFTs right there within the script. And then of course, that's going to be integrated into our Arbor Place so users can wind up minting those scripts. Minting those NFTs directly through our system. I think that's just about everything I have here.
So hello, everyone. My name is Stark. I'm founder of Hypex. And so for Hypex is the first blockchain game for sneaker lovers. And let me just go over the slides to introduce our products as well as our team and our markets and product roadmap. So for our product, each of our NFT will be associated with a physical product, and we make it to the fractional NFT, and we store the fractional NFT into a mystery box. For each of our fractional NFT cards, you will have a special attributes such as boost the mining speed, airdrop Hypax utility tokens, drop random NFTs, and also boost the gaming successful rate. For our products, so users will come to our platform and purchasing the mystery box, and every time they will have a fractional NFTs, and then they can use the fractional NFTs entering our crypto ecosystem. And in our ecosystem, for the gaming, users can doing the NFT merge, which is they can merge two NFTs, fractional NFTs into a new NFT. And also in our fragment refiner sections, user can upgrading their fractional NFT card into a higher value NFT card, and also they can merge all their fractional NFT into one piece and then redeem for the physical products. Users can also trade, buy, sell, and collect the NFT cards in our marketplace. And also we're also adding more like crypto native functions, features in our platform. Users can stake their NFTs in our platform. They can do the collateral loan on our platform. Also, because we are partnering with many sneaker and fashion brands and stores, so therefore later on they can use our HiPay in the store to just use the fractional NFT to purchasing the merchandises. And later on, we will build our metaverse games because all of our NFTs are associated with the physical products. So therefore, in the game, everything you see, the clothing, car, or whatever, watches will have a physical merchandise in the real world. So why us? My name is Stark. I'm a CEO of Hypax. I graduated from USC and Carnegie Mellon University computer science major. And for myself, I'm also a serial entrepreneur, did a couple of startups. And the first time I was in the crypto space is back to 2016. And because I was a sneaker and fashion reseller for almost like 3 years. So therefore, I just saw the opportunity to combine, crypto and sneaker reselling industries, because for the traditional resale market, the liquidity is very low due to the physical transactions. Therefore, I'm just thinking of, what about just combine the NFT and resell together to make the liquidity going higher. And after I come up the ideas, I found my friend Ian, who's also graduated from USC. He is a TikTok influencer in sneaker and street fashion section, who has over 1.4 million followers, and also a great social media manager who help brands and companies to gain over 2 million plus followers. And for our CTO, Xinghan, he had abundant products and software development experience in the past. He was a senior product manager at Amazon and eBay for 9 years, and also a founder of VIP Shop US Research Center, and also a successful, entrepreneur who co-found and be CEO of Demo.com and Gen24. And for our team, our dev team are all graduated from top universities and are working for top companies such as Coinbase and Apple. And for our marketing team, operation design team, it's the same. Everyone graduated from top universities, as well as our experts in their area. And for our advisors, we have experts from marketing, crypto, startup, entrepreneurs, and technology. This is our current partners and supporters. We're still talking to more partners and supporters as well. And this is our achievements. Those are two other hackathons that we've been participating in the past. So we've been, recognized by those companies and organizations. And for our roadmap, so for our product roadmap, currently we are developing our first iteration of MVP. We will have our beta version being released within 2 to 3 months. And later on in next year, we will continue adding more features to our platform. And for our marketing roadmap, we will have our C users from Ian, because he has over like 1.4 million followers. Therefore, we already have over like 1,000 users from his fan base as our C users to help us giving us feedback on our concept, UI, UX, as well as our beta version products. And in our second stage, we will collaborating with social medias and other communities. We will doing some like marketing campaign with them, saying we will giving the new users free sneakers and free NFTs to attract them to our platform for our beta version application. Sorry. There's the one slide. I think I hide it. My bad. So yeah, for our stage 3, we were collaborating with influencers, KOLs, celebrities, because Ian and me, we were in the sneaker and fashion industry for a while. We have many like personal connections with influencers and celebrities like rappers, singers in the US. So therefore, we will collaborating with them. And for the celebrities, such as NBA players, we will just ask them to maybe just release their like signed sneaker or their signed merchandise to specially dropping on our platform, and we will making fraction NFT for that. Yeah, and it's pretty much the overall of our product.
So community, I'm going to go through our pitch deck, then I will go through, show you our website, and then I'll turn it over to Nick to do a demo. So Community Chest Me is essentially crowdsourced community funding using Chia for paying bills, medical bills, rental bills. Think of it as kind of like a GoFundMe, except we're basing around Chia. The ability to have a platform that enables you to do fundraising from others who want to contribute, and to make it more efficient to do that. That's the basic concept. And the name, of course, is a play on the famous Monopoly game, which has a community chest, which pops up medical, rent, and other bills. So, do you need to pay bills, and do you need help from others? So you use community chest to raise funds. And we got some example bills here. So here's a look at our team. And we also have our bios on our website. So we got a wide range of backgrounds. We're all brand new to Chia. Some of us do have experience with other blockchains, and all of us have a lot of experience with computer science and programming in general. We're also a distributed team. I'm in the Southeast US. Nick is in California. Jim and Arigid are also in California, and then Daniel is in Spain. So why build a fundraising platform for Chia? Well, people have unplanned expenses. You know, in a game, you can get unplanned expenses from turning over the wrong card if you land on the community chest site. But in real life, unplanned expenses come when people can least afford them. So a Chia blockchain-based fundraising platform is really all about efficiency. It's how do you allow people to communicate with each other and express their needs for funds and allow it and make it easy for people to contribute. So we're looking at this platform as trying to connect, on the one hand, people who need to raise funds with the people with funds who are willing to contribute and make it efficient as possible. So here's a look at our basic idea. We've got this platform in between these two groups, between the givers and the receivers. And we've got a front-end JavaScript web app that is talking to a Python middle tier through the Chia utils library to a Chia-less smart contract. And that's the basic concept from a technical side. Now, in terms of future functionality, we want to make it so it's not just pure Chia. We want to put fiat integration. We want to do wallet integration. We want to do a number of things, but that we're really out of scope for the hackathon, though. But they are, you know, next steps over the next year or so. So again, the technology we're leveraging: JavaScript, Python, Chia-less, Chia utils, and so forth. Basic process workflow. You know, your fundraiser fills out a form to create a request for funds. Form creates an address to receive the funds and a landing page to talk about the campaign that you're raising funds for. Then on the other side, a fund giver, when they see that landing page, can click on a link to send funds. And then the fundraiser will receive funds in their Chia wallet and can spend their funds on rent, medical bills, or whatever. And as I mentioned, future functionality would be fiat integration, wallet integration, and other special features through this that we can do with smart contracts. Some links, we've got some YouTube videos, we've got a website, communitychest.me, we've got our GitHub. So that's our links. So I'm gonna take a quick look through our website. Find our website here. So basically on our website, we've got multiple pages up here. We've got a home page, we've got an about page about our project. We've got a start a community chest, which is basically starting a campaign to raise funds. And then we have a link for giving to a community chest, and then we have a source code for our GitHub. So our homepage is just basically giving you the basic idea, you know, use crowdsourced community fund to raise money for bills. And we've got links to our YouTube, a little bit about the, you know, explaining what we are doing. We have some other YouTube videos that we'll be putting up on the website that we haven't put up here yet. That's just our first video. We've got an about page, again, just kind of going through the bios of the different members of our team. We've got a start a community chest form where basically you can start a community chest, enter your name, address, reason why you want it, upload a picture, and so forth. Here's an example of a campaign we already started here. Sunkissed Moss has some medical bills, and so he's trying to raise funds using his Chia address. And then, of course, we've got, you know, a little arrow that will lead us to additional campaigns. We go look at those. All right, so that's our website. So with that, I'm going to turn us over to Nick, who is going to do a short demo. And I will stop sharing.
So, hi, I'm Nick, and I'm going to show how community chest works. So here is main page, home page. We can see some statistic here that is one ongoing campaign now. So we can go to campaign list and we see here campaign for Sunkissed. So this cat has some medical bills and he's on special date, and he wants to get some funds. So here is the progress bar of how many Chia coins we get for this particular campaign. So we can click on participate button and we will automatically redirect to send tab, and we can enter amount of Chia, for example, 10 coins, your Chia ID, wallet ID, and maybe put some comments if you want to share something with other people, and click on participate button. If we return back to the campaign list, we see that progress bar is filled up to 10 up to 10% because we spent 10 Chia coins, and the target of the campaigns is 100 coins. We can go back and again paste Chia wallet ID and amount of coins, and click participate, and the progress bar will show the amount of Chia that I spent for this particular campaign. And we also can create our campaign if we want, so we can enter title, name, Chia ID, how many coins do we need to get from this campaign, and description, and click on create button, and it will show on the campaign list here, and also shows on the statistics. Yeah, that's it for my demo. Thank you.
Thanks, Nick. So I want to thank all the judges for letting us give this brief explanation of our project. And please feel free to visit our website and watch our videos.
Then here I am, Luis Eduardo. We are from the project Chia Dollar. I'm Luis Eduardo, like the general manager of the project. Victor Altamirano is like the main developer, and another developer, Alejandro Sanchez, on that side. We have a combination of skills. Like we come from the cloud development world, but we are exploring cryptocurrency and what it has to offer. So may I share the screen to start my pitch? All right, let's start. Welcome. Chia Dollar is the first algorithmic stablecoin developed through Chia colored coins. We aim to bring liquidity and ease of use to the Chia ecosystem through our DEX Salvia swap. While we were brainstorming what to develop for the hackathon, we first made some research about the tools and ecosystem that we will be part of. We found that Chia is a very new coin that, although it has great ideas, is in a very early stage of development. By exploring the ecosystem, we found just one external wallet. External meaning you don't have to download the blockchain and all that and all the nodes. And on the same side, we have a few exchanges offering trades and so forth with Chia, but no decentralized ones. When looking at the development options we had with the current Chia platform, we are quite limited by the stage of development as it is a very new project. But it is obvious that at this point, the projects to be developed should focus primarily on creating robust infrastructure. If we compare the current state of Chia with the historical rise of other cryptocurrency, we can see how it all emerged, and that can give us an idea of what to focus on. At first, we had the initial blockchain in Bitcoin with these development tools, wallets, faucets, etc., and also colored coins emerged, creating the first crypto ecosystem. Then we had the introduction of smart contracts with Ethereum, and that gave rise to the centralized exchanges such as 0x and some others. And with further development standards, we had tokens such as ERC20, BEP, and so forth. Others came creating a vast ecosystem of tokens and projects. Then we had like the third wave. From that point and a couple years in the future, that gave rise to NFTs. If we compare the current state of Chia with that, we can see that it is perhaps too early for NFTs, and they are not really important at this point of development. But a project that includes current developments such as colored coins and some smart contracts that can give interoperability with projects that have already developed several facets, and developer tools that can give robust infrastructure that we want, and even, well, this can accelerate adoption. We also explore market price action, and we can find a little bit of volatility. This is quite normal for a new project. And with its roadmap, Chia may be able to quench this. But at this moment, we also need a hedge against that. Having that in mind, we decided to create a decentralized exchange based on Serum, which is a Solana project, another blockchain, that can interoperate with a Chia colored coin, thus giving the project the needed interoperability with the current crypto world and so forth. Of course, in this case, the Chia colored coin will be a stable coin. With that, we will grant a hedge against that volatility, increase interoperability, and create robust infrastructure for other projects. Projects of this kind that have interoperability between chains have performed extremely well, as you all know. And having said this, let's explain the feature of both sides of our coin of this project. We have two main parts, or DEX Salvia Swap and the stablecoin Chia Dollar. Let's go first through Salvia Swap. Give me a second here. I'm going to show you what is the web page. This is live. This is not a mock-up, not everything of the sort. It was created in Serum, which is a project built on Solana, and we are basing it on Chia. It was quite important for us to use a chain that kept the green practices of Chia in mind. The Salvia platform was developed using the Facebook React framework. This to develop the tools for management and exchange from Chia for our Chia Dollar token. Now let's go through our application. As you can see, we can connect to a Solana wallet here. Let me connect just quickly, and as you can see, it is connected. If I go to my wallet here, you can see that it is connected, and if I disconnect it, it also disconnects. But let's keep it connected. Then the complete application has that integration, and as we do not have a standard wallets available in each ecosystem, those will be added in the future or developed by us. The trading section is based on the DEX of Project Serum. At this moment, we have all these kinds of tokens. And well, if we go back, the swap section allows you to change from Chia to Chia Dollar. Selecting here a token, and let's say I want to, and here is the estimating dollars. So, and also the liquidity and staking section are still in development. In turn, the hosting of the page was done through AWS Amplify to maintain a scalable and reliable platform. Now let's go back to the presentation. This brings great interoperability to these two great projects with a lot of potential. As you all know, Solana has been all the rage in these few last years. It had a little bit problems with service, but not anything to be concerned with. Now let's explain the stablecoin Chia Dollar. This is the meat and potatoes of the project, perhaps the first stablecoin developed through Chia colored coins. Of course, at this moment, it is an algorithmic one that works assigning a proxy coins to the monetary value of the dollar at that point in time. For a more technical explanation, you can go to our repository. By the process of controlling through a proxy the minting and burning of said supply of the colored coin created in Chia, we can adjust the peg price to the dollar. In this case, we are using the APIs of CoinMarketCap in relation to the price of USDC to peg that value. In addition to that, as the collateral grows within the project, the stable coin can swap from an algorithmic one to a collateralized one. Or if we follow a roadmap, we can accelerate that process from the start by injecting capital into it. So what's next for this project? Of course, the project is still in its early stages, but we think it's a great example of how we can create great infrastructure and interoperability between chains. All this while deploying the development tools we had at hand. Having said that, we are eagerly waiting for the standards of tokenization, smart contracts, and NFT from Chia to transition the platform to a more Chia-based one. Here is our plan to grow the project. But as said previously, a big part of the success of its integration with Chia is for Chia to publish those standards. Thank you, and we are up for your questions.
So, welcome everybody to my final presentation of the Chia Lisp Playground project. My name is Andreas, and I'm a software developer based in Munich in Germany. And yeah, I started to look into Chia right about the mainnet launch. So yeah, not too early, but not too late, fortunately, to get some of the starting craze to see how that develops. And I'm still very, very excited what this project or the ecosystem in general brings in the future. And therefore, I wanted to participate and contribute something to this ecosystem. I had some contributions to the Chia Dog project, which is a monitoring tool for Chia farming. And I did some contributions there. And after that, yeah, I saw that this hackathon is happening, and I had one idea that came up a while ago. Therefore, I developed Chia Lisp Playground, which is an online playground where you can try out and learn Chia Lisp. And for some inspiration, so of course, I'm a software developer, so I wanted to try out Chia Lisp myself after trying out Solidity with Ethereum and developing web applications in my day-to-day job. I wanted to try it out, but yeah, when I got started, the developer experience was still, yeah, I'd say rough, since a lot of the documentation was not there yet. A lot of the tool support, or at least the documentation of tool support, was not visible and easy to access. So, there was no editor support, like syntax highlighting, things like that, which makes it a lot easier for someone to get started with a new language. And I mean, the command line execution is fine if you do it in your day-to-day job, but if you want to try it out and see how things work, it's a little bit inconvenient, to say. And yeah, that's what I found as a status quo. And the missing piece was that I read on Twitter that somebody called Chia did port the GLVM tools, which is basically the development tools for Chia Lisp. This person ported it to the web world, let's say JavaScript and WebAssembly underneath, which makes it possible that you execute these development tools right inside your browser. So you don't have to have any server, any local installation, things like that, but you can compile and run Chia Lisp or GLVM code directly in JavaScript or browser environment. And yeah, in that Twitter thread, it came up that this other person yeah, struggled with implementing the Monaco editor, which is the one, the editor library, which VS Code, the popular code editor, is based on. And since I had some previous experience with that editor and knew that the API and how it is used is a little bit rough around the edges still, and a bit hard to grasp. So with that previous experience, I said, okay, let's try to build something like that. Use the tool support that is already there, and try to create a web-based Chia Lisp editor that can run and execute the Chia Lisp code. And so you can see a screenshot here. So what the final, or the submission for this hackathon looked like. We have a rather simple user interface. We have a larger source code window, which shows this code editor. It supports syntax highlighting for Chia Lisp in this case. On the right-hand side, we have a second input, which is used to input arguments to the program. And then on the bottom right, you can see the result of the code. And you might notice that there is no play, run, or compile button, and that's how I wanted it. So the code is executed immediately, and therefore the let's say the user experience and the speed with how you can try out different snippets of code is very fast. So you can just type in some code and you see the result immediately, and then you can play around with the arguments, and you can see the changes immediately in the result. So just some summary of the features. As I said, it runs in the browser. It has all batteries included, so you don't have to have any local installations. You don't even need a server. You can host it on let's say GitHub pages, or you can even download the web page and run it locally. Apart from the files that the browser serves, it doesn't need any other things. Apart from a modern browser, okay, I have to say that Internet Explorer is not supporting WebAssembly, and therefore it's hard to do that there. We have a basic syntax highlighting for GLisp, which means that you can distinguish between variables, constants, numbers, functions, at least very general, which means, for example, if you define custom functions, those function names are for now not highlighted just in a special case, which is something where I can improve the project in the future. The code is executed instantly and immediately right inside your browser. So it depends a little bit on your local hardware, how fast it goes, but on my machine, I didn't have noticed any wait times or things like that. So that's why I went with this instant code execution approach. And I had some under the hood mechanisms where higher level code that is written with higher level language features is automatically compiled to the lower level TRM, which removes some manual steps you would have to do when running it step by step. So I'd say we just have a look into how it looks in the real world. We have the page here, and I loaded the first example that you can find on GLisp in the documentation. I try to open that here. So if you open the glisp.com page, you can find this example. That's why I picked it. I changed the hash since I don't know what the password of this hash is, and changed it with a hash that represents the word test. And what this code does, it tries to it compares this password that you input with this hash or the hash password with this hash, and if it is if it matches, it creates a new coin, and otherwise it raises an exception. So in this case, you can see the result is new coin, and if you type in something else, it says it's an error, which is what we expect here. And if I, let's say, do the correct password again and change the hash, you will also notice that it doesn't match. You can also try to do a different constant here, and you see it reflected in the output. And so this way you can just go through the documentation and say, okay, there's this, let's say this list here, and we can just try it out here, see what happens. Okay, yeah, this is just output it this way. We can also go down to the functions, for example, the factorial function, which I can use the copy button here. And I have to ensure that the arguments match the factorial function, so that if you input something too large into a factorial function, it will freeze the computer, which I unfortunately did not protect it from yet. But let's say if you try different numbers here, it will calculate the factorial of this number and shows the result here. So that's how you can try out different programs. And there's also, for example, this granular list. You can copy that. And in this case, it wants a list as an argument and not just a number. So in this case, how did you run that? Try with those arguments. Yeah, that works. So as you can see, the result here is the one that is shown in the documentation here. And the under the hood mechanism I described is the one that for the higher language features to work, you first have to compile the code down to the CLVM code with run, and then use run to actually execute it. And I tried to keep that a little bit under the hood to make it easier to try it out. The mechanism to decide when to use run and run is not perfect yet, but I think one can see where this is going. Yeah, so that's it for the demonstration. As I said, I use some open source projects under the hood. So I want to do some attributions here. The editor is the Monaco editor from Microsoft, with some extensions to support text-mate grammars, which is a way to describe editor syntax highlighting. And the reason why I did that is this text-mate format is the same that VS Code uses. So I could use the VS Code Chia Lisp package as a starting point. I have to say this syntax highlighting I found there was very basic, and I had to do some adjustments to even make it work in my examples. There's definitely some room for improvements, but I will talk about that in a second. The CLVM tools in JavaScript are the main dependency I use here, since it allows me to execute the Chia Lisp code in the browser. And yeah, we have some common ground. The contributor of this package and me, since he is also interested in developing a playground like that, and therefore it's, I think, a very good synergy. And of course, for some front-end framework, Vue.js and Bootstrap and things like that. So next steps would be one big part is multi-file editing and support using include. I'm currently working on that. Some basic features already work, but yeah, you also need the editor support, that you have like a tree of the file system, or virtual browser file system, where you can create multiple files and then include them in your programs. Yeah, we could improve the code formatting, of course, to support some Chia Lisp special features. One could also think about providing example programs you can select and then run in the editor, and you have explanations why the code does what it does. Some convenience features, of course, and the future vision is something like full-fledged Chia Lisp editor in browser, where you can develop like complete Chia Lisp programs without any local setup, and then ideally deploy it to the blockchain using like online wallets. Let's say compared to the MetaMask Ethereum wallet, where you can yeah, integrate the wallet inside your browser functionality, and then use it to interact with the blockchain. So that's it from me, from my side. Thank you for paying attention and listening.
I'm a Master of Science in Mathematics. I have worked in a few successful startups, and I'm used different technologies to build products. The project I want to introduce is called Sphere, as we already heard. The idea of the Sphere is to bring a part of the functionality what we have in WeChat for Telegram users. The functionality is private payments, marketplace, different kind of marketing tools, and games payments. Where idea came from actually WeChat. I was living in China for some time, and I became used to use WeChat as a main payment way. As you know, almost everybody uses WeChat and don't use cash and credit cards in China. So WeChat is very acceptable there as a payment way. In most time, when I was in China, I was discovering the WeChat API and Telegram API together. And then at the same time Telegram was introduced, the Tone project, which was the blockchain based on Telegram, right? With cryptocurrency Gram. So I was waiting for releasing of this project to start to build on that. This is what was main idea to build on Graham currency. But as you know, Ton was blocked, and I just started to develop based on Ethereum, and Ethereum is the main cryptocurrency on the wallet. For now, we have built private payments. We integrated the L2 solution based on the Casync project. We have implemented partially marketplace. We implemented invoices system, so users can sell and buy good services and files, or collect donations in Telegram. We have built a marketing tool called Treasure Chest. It's similar to Red Pocket in WeChat. Our advantages is our user experience is very convenient and simple. This is not just words. We have users, and this is feedbacks from users. We have multi-platform, multilingual. We support for now 11 languages. We are multi-currencies. We support 15 currencies. For user just need to remember his own password to wallet, and actually nothing else, not his address and not address of others. He just sent the money to contacts, as in WeChat. You don't need to deal with all crypto stuff. And we are non-custodial, so the wallet can be very simple imported to our wallet, so we don't hold our users. It's absolutely free. Our architecture is built to grow fastly if we achieve this. We built using domain-driven approach. Our code base is fully test coverage. We are containerized, so it's easily to scale. Our deployment works in 2 minutes. We just go production in 2 minutes. We have backups every hour, and we are secure as Telegram. My service is hidden behind Telegram, and everything is encrypted.
Hey, Constantine, sorry to interrupt. Are you playing your slide deck in the background right now?
Oh, sorry. Yeah. I'm just like going through my my writings. Yeah. Okay. So this is what I said before. What we want to build. This is the functions we already have built. It's already inside. This is advantages. I just talked about that, and this is our architecture. I also talk about that now. Okay, our plans. We want to build fully functional marketplace. We want to integrate our invoices system with our services in Telegram, which already accept payments. So we want to provide an automation API to make payments more convenient inside Telegram. We also working now on building some web interface to manage more complicated cases, like managing e-commerce inside, because you can't do it easily just from the bot. You need more rich user experience in that. And we plan to integrate also different e-commerce platforms like WooCommerce, for example. So shops owners can import web shops just inside our system too. And we want to include our cryptos like BUSD, BTC, XCH, and USDT-based TRC. For now, we're using only ETH and USDT on ERC20. Our team is consisting in two parts, the main part and supporters part. The main part is I am as CTO and full stack developer. It's Karin. She's doing content management, designs, and she managing the supporters team. And another full stack developer, Max, he's doing development too. The supporters team is contains from translators, from consulting, different kind of consulting, web design, and so on. This is in general.
So a little bit about myself. My name is Brandt Holmes. You will find that I am self-taught in all areas coding. My professional experience is more in sales, management, marketing. I graduated from Fort Lewis with a marketing degree. And I'd like to present to you Rhizosphere IDE. You'll notice I had a typo when I initially put it in, had it as Rhinosphere, but I did want the name to be Rhizosphere. The rhizosphere is the part of our soil on our planet where the roots are touching the soil itself. So I thought it worked well with the Chia language and the different terminology that they've used as well, because this is intended to be a Chia Lisp IDE, integrated development environment. That being said, Rhizosphere is hopefully going to be kind of the groundwork that will assist other developers in creating the DeFi tools, the GameFi, and other applications that might reside on the Chia network. You'll see in the image here, this is a demo of the alpha of version 2, which on the left half of that image, it does show a text editor complete with Chia Lisp syntax highlighting. After developing inside of the text editor, one will be able to click on the Serialize tab and convert it into the proper hex results, query results, tree hash, and even an encoded wallet so it can be ready to deploy. You'll find I did put in a third tab within the alpha. That third tab has a giant notice saying coming soon, and I'm hoping by the end of this year, or with additional funding or maybe even partners within this project, I could have that out sooner. But that tab is supposed to integrate directly to the blockchain and say allow deployments of those wallets or of those applications directly to the Chia blockchain. To start out, I want to go over the current ecosystem and why I chose a tool to build rather than diving right into a GameFi or a DeFi application. The current development tools out there, you have CLVM, developed by Richard, beautiful tool, beautiful language, and that is kind of the low level communicating on the blockchain once it's encoded. Once you jump up to Chia Lisp, that's kind of the high level language, allows people like myself who are not as tech savvy as Richard to better understand it. And you'll find that the two mats have done a great job of providing explainer videos. And Quexington, which is one of the mats, also created the Chia Lisp dev tools. That's important to me because inside of the Rhizosphere application, I have currently a PowerShell application that utilizes the Chia Lisp dev tools from Quexington in order to perform all of those serialized functions in the second tab. Current available apps that you'll see are the Chia node itself. You have some light wallets. You have farming and harvesting GUIs, and the pooling implementations. Now, as noted here, the vast majority of these are being created by the community. And if you talk to the Chia Network team, they're going to tell you the same thing. The majority of tools and applications for the blockchain should be created by the community. The community is a lot larger than the current, I believe they have about 24 right now within Chia, but it's a lot larger than their team and can really reach out, test out a lot of other things. So that's why I believe that creating an integrated development environment for those developers to not only create ideas, but also share ideas could be crucial in expanding the ecosystem as well. Now, the sharing of ideas will be more so displayed on the timeline here in a moment. Rhizosphere has three main objectives, the first of which we've already accomplished, and that is to publish the first Chia Lisp IDE. And I want to reach out to Gene about my terminology here, because I don't know if you would prefer me to call it a Chia Lisp IDE or an IDE that works with Chia Lisp. So I don't know if my terminology is correct there, but I will clarify that. However, Within 72 hours of me teaching myself Tkinter and Python GUI programming, I was able to publish what can be used as the first Chia Lisp IDE. On top of that, the next steps for Rhizosphere is to be expanded for a full development process. The first step of this was integrating a text editor with syntax highlighting. As shown on the first slide, this text editor has already been implemented and it's just in the testing phase. My next release will be next week, and I hope to have all of the testing in place and have a formal beta version available by that time. And the last portion of it, this is how developers can interact with one another and how we can bring it to a truly marketable business standpoint. But I would like to integrate a future companion app store for the consolidation of Chia apps. In essence, I would like the IDE to start with examples or templates such as the NFT, the pool protocol, other things that the Chia network has already published, and have those as examples or templates. The next step is that companion app store that would allow developers to, such as Knuckle, create their own light wallets and then provide the coding for others to use as well. That companion app store could be community audited and ensure that any application that is first posted on there is reviewed and tested by the community before widespread adoption or widespread downloading. This will aid in security, but also aid in a good community wholesome feel that the Chia network is already known for and doing a great job with. Now on to the development timeline. As noted, 72 hours after teaching myself Tkinter, I released the Rhizosphere version 1. This was a very, very simple GUI, and it was intended just to serialize the CLSP files. That was released on September 14th. Since then, I have released a alpha version of Rhizosphere version 2. The beta version is anticipated to be released by next week, next Thursday. This is not only going to contain the GUI to serialize the CLSP files, but as previously shown, it will have the text editor with proper syntax highlighting. I'm working through a few of the issues on the opcodes currently, as well as a few of the different operators, but the syntax highlighting is in place and being tested currently. The next step for Rhizosphere is to further build on top of it, deploying and managing the puzzles that are serialized within the second tab. Now, this is kind of that third tab where if you currently download it from GitHub, you'll find that I have it saying coming soon. But the goal is to allow one application to go from text editing all the way through to deployment and management of puzzles. Obviously, you're not going to be able to recall any puzzles, but if you want to redeploy puzzles or alter them for a new deployment, it would allow for the easeability of that. The future step on top of that, I'm anticipating by mid next year, just because I am a self-employed individual. I have other work that I will need to take back on so that I can continue to fund myself within this project. But by mid next year, I would like to have a community app store built. And as indicated, that app store should include the ability for community auditing and review prior to any of the applications being really available for mainstream download. One of the things that I personally implement within my life is the Nextcloud online cloud server. And I really love how they have very specific indications in their app store as to, hey, this app has been fully tested, it is ready to go. These apps, they have not been verified and you need to be worried about them. I'm hoping for something like that, but to build on top of it, I believe there should be not necessarily a ranking system, but some form of a criteria that allows the community to properly audit that application so that when a user downloads it in the future, they know exactly what they're getting into. So this is kind of the full spectrum for Rhizosphere and bringing it from a very basic GUI that serializes CLSP files all the way up to a full-blown IDE for Chia Lisp that also has a companion app store. This will make it marketable. It'll bring it into that business standpoint for us as well. Now to touch on the specific criteria that you guys have for this hackathon, the category, as you identified previously, would be the tools category. It's a IDE specifically for the Chia Lisp language. On the creativity side, this more so is related to the concept of a new tool being implemented. It's not overly inventive. I used a lot of the tools currently in place and combined them together. So I would say rather than being really a developer, this was more of an engineering project, taking tools, combining them together and making it more mainstream so that others can develop their own projects in the future. The feasibility is within 72 hours, the first version was already released. The second version is undergoing extreme testing currently. Community members are involved in that as well. We are also already working on ports over to the Unix operating systems. So that'll be a great addition for us. Removing the PowerShell requirement is going to help as well. Adoption and market, as indicated previously, this is not the main focus right now for Rhizosphere. Once we have the companion app store, that's when we're going to kick in the adoption, the marketing, making sure the community is more so involved. But currently, we would like to ensure that the application, this IDE for Chia Lisp, is truly robust and ready for deployment. And Chia Lisp based, I think that one is pretty forefront, that it is a Chia Lisp IDE. It is the coding language itself. It also allows for some CLVM syntax highlighting in there, but it is mainly focused in Chia Lisp so that others can develop their own projects within the language. Now I'd like to open it up and see if anybody here has any questions.
So yeah, my name is Ethan Bond. My submission is called Chia No Code. I'll get started. Just a little bit about me. I'm a software engineer by trade. I just graduated from the School of Mines this spring. And I'm super excited about Chia and blockchain just in general. I thought this was a really cool opportunity to learn about this whole community. So yeah, I'll get started. So the problem that I set out to solve, and of course this doesn't really look like a problem, but was about the feasibility and the accessibility of using coins and Chia Lisp on the Chia network. So if you look here, this is a screenshot from the Chia Lisp tutorial. This is, I believe the delegated puzzle coin or one of those. But when you look at this, if you're someone who's never programmed before, this looks pretty intimidating. And even if you do have programming experience, something like Chia Lisp, a functional paradigm, is pretty counterintuitive and it is more difficult to learn than an imperative language like Java or Python. And even I like to think I'm good at programming. I struggled and it took a while, even with all the support from Chia, to learn and pick it up. And I thought about all the people who might be interested in coins and contracts on the Chia network, and how they might have a bigger barrier to entry than is necessary just because of the difficulty of learning a programming language. The other thing I wanted to thought was difficult was the spend process of coins on the network. To spend one on the network, if you're unfamiliar, you need to use a spend bundle, which I have screenshotted here on the right, which is a JSON with a bunch of different hashes and hex codes. And each of those values that we see in that JSON required an individual call to the Chia dev tools, Python library or the command line, which I think is really verbose, sorry, and a lot of work just to get, even a tutorial coin up on the network and to learn about this. So kind of to summarize what I'm saying, the problem is, I think that first sentence really drives it home. Writing, deploying, and spending coins on the Chia network is too inaccessible for how powerful the technology is. I think that, Chia is great. I was super impressed with what I learned about proof of space and proof of time as opposed to proof of work. And this whole idea of being green with this cryptocurrency. And I think there's a lot of people who are interested in Chia coins, that type of contracts, but they don't know how to program, especially in a functional paradigm. They don't know how to use necessarily the command line tools. And that's, shutting off a large group of people that could be users of this technology. Additionally, to interface with these coins, you need to know just as much to be able to spend the coins, to create the solutions, knowing what to hash and what values to add. I think all of this could be, you know, put into an application where it's taken care of. And that's kind of what I set out to do. So my solution is called Chia No Code. It's a web application that really allows anyone to create coins on the Chia network. And when I mean create coins, I literally mean create code in the Chia Lisp language without writing that code itself. It's GUI based, and with the click of a button, you can deploy the coins, and soon you'll be able to spend them, you know, and keep track of that value all from within the application. So I think this is best shown with a demo. I have a video here, but I'm going to do a live demo if I move over here. Could someone just confirm for me that you can see my browser now?
Yep, confirming.
Oh, cool. Thank you. So this is you know, the homepage of Chia No Code. As you see here, these are a couple of coins that I've built before. They have an internal name, which is just used for addressing them. But it stores all the metadata you need to be able to interact with the coin. We have the puzzle hash, the address on the network, as well as the amount. And these are stored locally because this is running on a local server. So just for the example of showing you how it works, I'm going to create a very basic coin. So this is the GUI that I built for that. We'll just make we'll call it presentation demo. So there's 3 parts to this, as there are kind of the 3 parts I saw to the way Chia coins, Chia Lisp is written. We have inputs, which are the solution. This is the data that when someone goes to spend the coin will get passed in during that spend. So we have, you know, each one has a name, and it can have a value that's optionally, you know, curried into the coin, which means it's in the coin itself. The user doesn't have to provide it. It's something we can check against. Then the logic is kind of narrowed down to a very narrow subset. We can still get to a decent cognitive complexity with nesting if statements. And then the actions are the condition languages. These are the things that will, you know, if the conditions of, you know, say a password or whatever is passed in the solution are met, what should the coin do? Should it create a new coin? Should it, you know, assert the values? Should it make an announcement to communicate with other coins? We can manage all that down here. So I'm going to make a coin just to show how this works, that will take in a password, and then we'll have a password stored inside it. It will check that those 2 are equal safely, and then also we'll pass in another argument just to show that's, you know, the date. So we'll put tomorrow's date. So I'm going to say, I'm going to make a value called stored password here, and I'm going to give it the value hackathon like this. And by clicking sensitive data here, this will hash this value on the server side when it goes to curry it and store it on the coin, which means that no one will be able to know what this is. It'll be secured. We'll add a second one, which is the password, and we won't add a value here, which means that this will be part of the solution that needs to get passed into the coin when someone goes to spend it. We'll put sensitive data here, and because there's nothing here, this sensitive data means that this variable will be hashed at runtime in the code by wrapping it in the SHA-256 function, if you're familiar with Chia Lisp. And then the last one that I said we're going to add, we'll just add a date. And so when we do the logic here, the first thing we'll check is the date. And I'm just going to put in a string. I'll just put in tomorrow's date, say 29/26, what is it, 2021. And we'll nest. We'll add another if statement. So we add a second block there. And we're going to check that this password that is passed in by the user is equal to the stored password of Hackathon, really equal to the hash. So the password equals stored, what do we call it? Stored password. So if that's the case, if this is true here, and this is true, what do we want it to do? We want it to output something. And when we click that, it comes down here. And I think for now, we'll have it create a new coin and create an announcement that that new coin is being made. So if we click save, you see that it's created. This is a little, you know, glimpse into some of the code that's actually the conditions language. And it's also automatically added up here 2 more values that are needed to be passed in for a spend: the address the puzzle hash basically of the next coin, as well as the amount that's going to be transferred from this coin to that coin when it is spent. And then for if false here, I think we want to do nothing. We'll just say exit and exit. So that's everything we need. We didn't write any Chia Lisp. And when we click save, it comes here and you can see it's loading. So we have puzzle hash generation in progress. This is happening on the back end. It takes about 20 seconds. While it's doing that, I'm going to click view source, and this just loads the source code that was just generated right now, if you look at the timestamp. So we have all of our arguments here. Stored password is capitalized because that's what we do when they're getting queried. We have a bunch of constants here. And then if we look down here at the logic, you can see we're checking if date is equal to the string date we passed in, if the password, when hashed, is equal to the stored password that we have. And we have lists of the conditions codes are output here. And these are the code to do nothing. So it's a very basic example, just trying to, kind of proof of concept, show you how it works. And if we come back, you see it's no longer loading. We got the puzzle hash here, and this is real. This is the puzzle hash of what we just created. And if we were to click deploy, this is on the test net. There we go. This is an address that we can use now. If this is, still a work in progress feature, but we'll have a wallet that's included in here where the user will be able to see, all Chia Lisp that they own through, maybe a combination of coins that are all handled on the back end. All they will know is how much, Chia mojos that they own basically, and can add and send directly to this coin. It'll be managed completely by the server. The other thing that's a work in progress is spend bundles. So say we have this, maybe we were able to share this with someone else who has Chia no code access, and they want to spend it. If we go to the spend bundle, we can make, I'm going to copy this name because we need to look it up. We can make, a demo spend bundle, and we can add coins like this. And it has all the data we need here. And then for the solution, so this is how you spend the coin. This is where we would put in our, hackathon like this. We would put in date, the date that we set into the coin, address. So this would be, some kind of address that you want. It's going to be a hex value. And this also could be managed by Chia no code in the future, where it would just be automatically generated for another coin that you want to create. And same with this, new amount would be added to, or filled in, with the value of this coin if we wanted to say spend the whole coin and not give any to the network. And with the click of the spend button, again, this feature is a work in progress. That would, push the coin to the RPC, and it would spend it and go through and check if the solution and create the new coin, which I think is super cool. So that's about all I've got for the demo. So I'm going to go back to the slides here. We don't want to play that. All right, so what is the value proposition of this? Really, it's all about accessibility, allowing more people to have access to be able to create coins, to store store data about their coins, and then to spend those coins or retain to value for themselves. Ultimately, this means more adoption of Chia and of coin usage on the Chia network, which I think is something we all want. So what is the vision? Well, there's two sides of this. There's the product side. What is it going to look like when it's, nothing's ever finished, but what are we shooting for? Really end-to-end support for coins and Chia. So an internally managed wallet where, you might be made up of several coins, but to the user, it's just their Chia that they're able to access and send wherever. The ability to keep building coins from templates. So in the future, that password coin will just, all they'll need to add is a password. The logic will be already, templated for them. The ability to store the coins and then to spend them. So complete end-to-end access and usage from the GUI. On the business side, what is the ambition here? I think really it sounds ambitious, but the goal is to be a leading wallet solution for the Chia community. And I think that's, a realistic goal if keep at it, and especially adopting users who are, you know, interested in no code and interested in learning, but might not have the time to learn a programming language. And I think a good analogy to this could be, you know, bringing stuff like coins and smart contracts to the mainstream public the way, you know, 6 or 7 years ago, you know, exchanges like, say, you know, Coinbase did for cryptocurrencies, where now, you know, my mom and dad can buy crypto, and my neighbor. For a business model, I think a similar model to Postman, where it's, you know, one, it could be a software as a service for people who are looking to develop applications and test out their coins that are on the Chia network, as well as building in fees, you know, very small fee structure for coins that are built, and adding that automatically. Of course, that would have to be very transparent, but that's what I'm thinking on the business side of things. So a little bit of just market overview. You know, these are very basic figures, but it's pretty clear that, you know, people who know how to program, programmers are in the minority. You know, it's even this far along with how huge the internet has become. It's still a small number of people that know how to program. I think there is on the horizon a big thing coming, though, is no code development. And I think we've seen more and more effective no code platforms come out every year. So it's no longer, you know, no code doesn't just mean Scratch and for kids to learn, you know, about conditionals and loops and make games. I think that we're seeing real, you know, effective no code development platforms, and that's only going to grow. I think also that last bullet point is a good point, in that, you know, blockchain community is pretty forward thinking. And I think most of the people that I know that are interested in blockchain and cryptocurrencies are very forward thinking. They're early adopters in probably every area of their life. And I think early adoption of real effective no code tools in crypto are just around the corner and will happen sooner than with the general public. So what is some deliverables left for me and my team? Of course, I'm just solo right now. I'm open to adding developers and people onto the team to help. I'm continuing on with the repo. I think I'm going to start to generate interest and get feedback. So using platforms like Reddit, Twitter, Product Hunt to, you know, start to get initial users and get feedback about how are they using it? What type of coins is this geared for? You know, how can I get out of their way and make it more accessible for more people? That's first. Second, just on the feature timeline, I think finishing up spend bundle support is important. I think that could be done by October. That would be huge. That would be super cool. And then third, internally managed wallet. I know there are other people in this hackathon who have done some of those, and I would love to meet with them and collaborate. I think that would be huge for Chia No Code to have that completely managed on the back end. And then lastly, going live on a real domain so that we're no longer using localhost. People don't have to, you know, install Docker and launch these containers to be able to use the code that I've written. So with that, I want to say thank you so much for this opportunity. I had a blast learning Chia, Lisp, and building this project, and I can't wait to see where it goes. If you have questions after this, if you're watching this on a video in the future, my Telegram is here. And now if anyone has any questions, I'm happy to answer.